So today we are in the business of storytelling. We want to tell stories and we want to learn from their journey and ups and downs and really how to move forward, but also how to bring communities together. Today it's all about community support. We're here with Jalila Foundation and Majlis Al-Amal to talk about, not only to talk about breast cancer or cancer in general, but to talk about the power of the community, the power of the support. So Mary, I want to start with you. Can you introduce yourself and tell us your story?
Okay. Hi, everybody. So my name is Mary. I've lived in Dubai for 15 years, called Dubai my home for a long time. And on the 1st of June last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in my right breast. It had spread to my lymph nodes. So a little bit like Shivani, from the day that I was diagnosed, the next 2 weeks were a bit of a blur. Daily tests and ultrasounds and scans and mammograms until we had a treatment plan in place. And during this time, I had recently separated, so I was on my own with my two young children, and I was also moving house. So I had a little bit going on, and whilst I have some great friends here, we are part of the pirate surf family in Dubai. And again, a little bit like Shivani, I would never have asked for help. I was fine. I can do it. I've come this far. I know that I'm going to be okay. I know my cancer has a good prognosis. I just have to get on with it and get on with the treatment. 18 rounds of chemo, a double mastectomy, 25 rounds of radiation, and hormone treatment that I'm still ongoing. I'm finishing next week. And throughout my treatment, this lady and this community, in addition to the community of the Majlis Al-Amal, were just surrounded me with love and support and hope. And I will be forever grateful. And I know that my mum actually flew in early in the hours, so my mum is here today, and she...
Hi, Mum. You raised the warrior.
We're criers.
No, crying is good. Yeah. Crying is good.
And you know, when you are an expat, your friends become your family here. And knowing that Candy and the Pirate Surf team were basically just surrounding me with love, I know that helped my parents, my brother, my extended aunts and uncles, and everyone that couldn't be physically here, but knowing that they knew that I had that support, was just everything. It meant everything to me. I could go into details of what this incredible lady did. I did have meals every day delivered by strangers. They created a Mary's Meals plan so that I didn't have to worry about, what do I have to feed the kids today? Particularly with chemotherapy, I personally suffered from nausea. I was very, very nauseous from my first chemo to the last chemo. Very nauseous. So having people come, presenting kids. We had Father Christmas turn up at the house, and we had snow machine for the children. It was just magical, and this was all down to Candy and the Pirate Surf community coming together. Was that a cue for me to stop talking?
No. I wanted to ask you, how old are your kids?
So my kids are 5 and 10. So it was actually, I was diagnosed the day before my son's 4th birthday. So I left the hospital and went to buy birthday balloons. Because that's what we do as women, you know? We just have to get on with it.
Yes.
We don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you earlier I was saying to somebody that I'm not the same person I am from the day that I was told I had breast cancer to the person that I am now.
What has changed?
my strength has changed. My acknowledgement of strength has changed. My understanding of my strength has changed. I always suffered, and I think a lot of people do, suffer from self-doubt. And you doubt yourself, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to be a single mum? How am I going to support my kids? How am I going to work? How am I going to continue to work? And actually, one thing that breast cancer has taught me is that I am so much stronger than I ever would have believed to have been had I not had breast cancer. And had I not... don't get me wrong, I have low days and high days, but I know in my heart that I can get through anything in life. And that, to me, is a huge weight lifted, because life is hard and life is tough. But when you have self-belief and you have friends and communities and family around you, you really can get through anything.
Absolutely. First of all, I salute you and Shivani and everybody here who's suffering from, a journey, medical journey, or even just a mental health journey, because it takes a lot to wake up every morning and saying, you know what, I'm going to get on with it. Like you have 2 children, 10 and 5. You need to live for them. You need to be there for them every single day. But it takes a certain type of strength. But I think that strength comes from the push of the community and the support of the community. And Candy, honestly, when I heard about your story with Mary, it just uplifted me. I was like, wow, humanity still exists, because I'm a big believer of humanity. But you see things on social media and you hear about stories and you're just like, oh my God. But then you hear about this story and you're like, yay. Okay, it's still out there. Why did you do this?
Well, I think, you go through experiences in life. God forbid I haven't had cancer, but you have other experiences that maybe are just as bad, but very different. And I think I've gone through, a lot of trying times and hardships where I've had to work on my own and get through it on my own. Also with 3 kids and a lot of loss within the family. And I literally landed almost on the street in Dubai 13 years ago. I got a job working on Kite Beach, cleaning up garbage, picking up cigarette butts. But I thought, it's a job and I'm going to make the most of it. And then slowly thought, I've been coaching kids for 20 years. This is what I love. This is a gift that I have. I'm going to build a community. So started building up with the kids, and we had 9 kids, and today we have 1,100 kids in the program. So, yeah, it's a bit. But I think it was always just creating a family, because Dubai is so transient. People coming, people going. You have, some of us are very lucky, or some people are lucky to have family, but a lot of people don't. And I think, we pack animals. We need support from each other. And to teach the kids from a young ages, we take them from 5 years, what is community? What is it? And we actually don't even use the word community. We use it as a family. So it's a huge family, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You look at social media and what goes on in social media, and I just think, no, I'm going to change that. I'm very old school, as everybody who does know me. I call a spade a spade. And I say that to the kids as well. Our purpose in life is to give back. That's what we're here for. We're here to make people's lives better. So everyone can contribute towards that into making a change. So, Pirates is a gift. It's a gift that I have to be able to, do things like that with Mary. She's the one that gives us strength. We look at her and think, oh my God, she's on the beach. She's, sick as a dog, but she's there. She's showing up. So it's, it's our duty to be able to. And it's a privilege. It's an absolute privilege to be able to help others and to help people like Mary and her family, get through situations, get through, the incredible tasks that, a lot of you women have had to do. So, yeah, it's a club, it's a family, it's a community that is a precious gold. It's a precious gem that, is the work that we've been able to do with, Mary and other parents is just the most incredible privilege that we'll never take for granted.
Well, I'm, for one, I follow Pirates on social media because of my friend Hiba, who I've known since we were children, running around. And she's, of course, yeah, we're still young. She's a big believer in Pirates and a big fan, and I see her boy just growing with this community, and it makes me smile, actually, because I've never tried it. I have older boys now, but I just see the volunteering, and I see the sense of community that you really have built. I've been in Dubai for 17 years, so I know that my friends here from so many different nationalities are my family, my chosen family. So I understand when you say you've been through hard times, both of you, and my God, I'm in awe with your stories, because we get inspired. But I think also what I'm getting from this room today is empathy is very important, kindness is very important, and just being there for support. Mary, I wanna learn, how did you handle this with your children? Because we keep talking about the community support, but I wanna know, as a mother and as a single mom, which is even twice as hard, your kids are so young. Like, how did you explain this to them, and how did they take it?
So I had a wonderful breast care nurse, I always struggle, who gave me a book, actually, that is published in the UK and given out on the NHS. And it's a book called Mummy's Lump. And it's the most incredible book that talks, it's a children's book. So the pictures, they're all targeted to young children. And I read the book to my children. And I said to them, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. But sometimes if Mummy's tired, it's because of the medicine, because it's making Mummy better. Actually, my 10-year-old was very thoughtful. She, throughout the whole process, didn't ask many questions, because I tried to always be present with her and be the same mum that I had always been. So I tried to also shield them from some of the pain or the challenges that I was going through. But actually, my 5-year-old, when I read the book, and it talks about Mummy losing her hair, he started crying. And it really shocked me, because he's very happy, very boisterous, isn't he? But, yeah. And he said, but I don't want you to lose your hair, Mummy. And I said, but by me losing my hair, it's making Mummy better. And actually, it's funny, because when I was first told I had breast cancer, the first thing I said was my hair, because I had long, thick hair. And it was the one thing that I was really worried about. But actually, when the time came and I lost my hair, I did it at such a time that my kids weren't with me; they were with their dad. And I called my brother, who I'm lucky enough he lives here, and I said, "Do you have any clippers?" He said, "No, but I can go and buy some." I said, "Okay, can you come around to the house in half an hour? We're going to do it. We're going to shave my hair." And he came, and we're both criers, but actually neither of us cried, because it was a sense of relief, and he could see that I was taking control, a little bit of control over what was happening. And that afternoon, when my son came home, he didn't even comment on my shaved head. He's a typical man, typical boy. Because my personality was the same, I gave him the same hug, I gave him the same kiss. I gave him, the same, probably told him to get off his iPad or whatever it was. And it wasn't until a week later that he said, "Oh, Mummy, your hair, it's gone." So actually, for me, I just always tried to keep a certain normality, that yes, this was happening, and physically I was changing quite considerably. But I think, and my friends and everyone around me, to see me face to face, they didn't treat me any differently. So I tried to stay the same. I tried to stay positive. And during those times that I was tired or I was in pain, or, I would say to the kids, Mummy's not feeling well. I'm going to go and lie down. and they just understood. They were great kids, and you know, they just had this understanding that Mummy was going to be fine, and this is just a period of time in our life that we have to get through together. And I never wanted to tell them any untruths. I wanted to be as honest as possible. So when I had my surgery, I told them, you know, I had the drains, and I had, you know, I couldn't lift Maxwell up because you can't lift for quite a long time after surgery. And so I explained to him, you know, in children's language, why I couldn't do certain things. And I think by having this conversation with children when they are young, it then means that they can talk about it themselves and have a better understanding. I did a talk at my daughter's school to the senior girls, and this was whilst I was in the middle of chemo. And, you know, it's continuing to have that conversation with children, not to scare them, but to make them aware that there is this thing that, you know, 1 in 3 in the world now are affected by cancer. We have to keep having these conversations, not just with adults, but also with children.
Absolutely, and this is what we were talking about on the first panel, and even backstage we were talking about how it came from not even uttering the word cancer to having this event and talking and sharing your story and you know, not being ashamed to talk about it, or even it's you know, it's a disease and you'll get by, and it's a story, and you empower people. Candy, did you get any questions from the children? Did you know, I mean, the youth, the volunteer, did they talk about this? Did you organize any talks, raising this issue at all, talking about it to kids, calling it a spade?
Yeah, of course, but I mean, it's you make it in such a positive aspect, like we're helping somebody to get better. It's not anything that's negative. It's not anything that, there's not even a 1% chance that Mary's not going to get better. That's the kind of, you know, outlook that we have, and we teach the kids as well. There's never that one little bit of doubt. I don't care if it exists. If it doesn't exist in your mind, it's not there. That's what I do. So, no, it's fine. We're all good. We're fine. So again, just to make sure that, you know, if the kids see it, then they would obviously talk to Max and to Tilly, you know, that, you know, it's all good. They're actually doing something. When people can feel, so many people want to help, but they just don't know how to. So if you can give them a direction and say, right, there's the meals, you're going to cook this for the next 6 days or 7 days, they feel part of the journey, which again, you know, for Mary to think, there's a different car showing up every day, and people actually so enjoying some of the efforts in the meals was so beautiful, from toys to desserts to cupcakes. I thought, whoa, that's
Such pampering.
really good.
Huh?
Yeah. So again, it's just to always keep that positive, kind of loving, happy, we got this kind of feel throughout everybody. And it just, happiness is contagious, you know, love is contagious, kindness is contagious. You've just got to keep that going the whole time.
You know, I'm happy listening to this because, as I said, I've been here for 17, almost 18 years. And where I come from, or, you know, when people hear me talk about Dubai, and then they're like, oh, but, you know, you're away from family, or, you know, you don't have the same support that you would have if you're back home with your mom and the uncles. And it's not true, you know. So I think we need to tell those stories more, because when you, yes, it is a transit sometimes, you feel, but you know, you meet people that have been here for 20, 25 years, even more, and they consider it home away from home. So it's not a myth, you know. Yes, you have the towers and everything else that's happening, you know, going to Mars and all of that, but you still have that sense of community that grounds you. You have the children on the beach, and you have the moms bringing the meals and taking you to the hospital. And it's just so beautiful to hear, to be reminded that the community support is still there.
Absolutely. And I think that, you know, with us, we've had the same kids join. Our head coach is now 22. You know, he started when he was a chubby little 10-year-old kid. So to see him come through, and it just to give that consistency that I've been here 23 years now. You know, it is, the community is growing, and the need for a community is growing even more so. People need to feel there is a home, there is somebody to lean on. because Dubai is very diverse. You've got from the affluent right down. Kids don't understand it, Well, no matter where we go, I say, I don't care if your father comes to work in a helicopter or you're on the back of your parents' bicycle. We are all the same. We are all on the same level. Our hearts are all the same. Our souls are all the same. Our feelings are all the same. So regardless of your background, we all form part of this community. We accept each other for what we are.
Absolutely. I'm going to open now for quick questions, remarks, comments, anything that you would like to say to our amazing speakers before we wrap up. No? Well, for one, I want to thank you really for sharing your story, but also for being so brave and going from fear to hope, and you're continuing the journey, and I salute you honestly for your courage, because it's an ups and downs, and Candy, my God, you have created something so beautiful. Well done. I can see that you are very teary from the beginning.
I never cry.
But I haven't said
me, Mom,
anything.
don't cry.
But thank you for all your support to everyone in the community, and I would like to thank Jalila Foundation for actually bringing us all together, and Majlis Al-Amal, the Lounge of Hope, that's giving hope to so many people and so many patients, and to Lamia and to everyone here. Thank you for having me, and yes, let's continue the hope.